Order. I call Andrew Williams.
Mr Speaker, I rise to speak on behalf of New Zealand First in relation to the Financial Markets Conduct Bill, and I think, Mr Speaker, it's very appropriate that the word conduct is in this bill, because this is all about how our financial markets will conduct themselves in the future. New Zealand First, of all parties in this House, is well known for exposing many indiscretions in the past in terms of the financial markets. And those of us who are old enough to remember the likes of the wine box and other dealings around the world, and I know that some of the National Party people are smirking from the other side of the House because they were a little bit young at the time and don't recall it, but had they been old enough to be around when the likes of the wine box was on, and when the Right Honourable Winston Peters was exposing much of this sort of shenanigans that was going on in terms of some of our financial markets and our taxation systems and various other things around the world in terms of doing New Zealand itself out of its own taxes, then this certainly does reflect well in terms of this bill. And it's very appropriate also, Mr Speaker, that the National Government would be bringing this forward to sort out those financial markets because they are very, very well aware of the shenanigans that went on in the past in relation to many of the financial dealings around the world, and therefore it is more than appropriate that the National Government is now rectifying much of those wrongs of the past and putting the financial markets in correct order as they should have been, and then we wouldn't have had half of the shenanigans that went on in the 80s and 90s that did occur. This Financial Markets Conduct Bill, Mr Speaker, replaces a number of former acts such as the Security Markets Act 1988, the Securities Transfer Act 1991, and it also replaces Part 2 of the Securities Act 1978. So this is replacing quite a lot of old legislation and bringing it up into the new millennium. It also allows New Zealand to align itself more with Australia and other markets, and therefore will certainly assist in terms of this government and this nation's dealings in international finances, and will help corporate New Zealand and Kiwi Incorporated to perform. And I'm particularly delighted to look at parts of the bill, and particularly in reference to dealing in financial products on markets, and we have mentions here on page 25 references to insider trading, and particularly the derivatives market and insider trading on the derivatives market. And certainly, Mr Speaker, New Zealand First would support this. The last thing we would want to see is some of the insider trading that has been known to occur in terms of some of the derivatives trading. We do not want the likes of people who are working out of various money markets around the world and all this sort of manipulating the New Zealand market and taking New Zealand for granted in terms of what we're doing and trying to run a strong, stable financial market here in this country. And I'm particularly pleased to read subpart 3 of the market manipulation, which says this subpart prohibits market manipulation. This prohibition takes the following 3 forms: prohibiting a person from engaging in conduct that is misleading or deceptive, or likely to mislead or deceive in relation to any dealings in quoted financial products. This new provision applies whether or not the dealings are in trade. Prohibiting a person from making a materially false or misleading statement that is likely to induce a person to trade in quoted financial products or have the effect of increasing, reducing, maintaining or stabilising the price for trading in those financial products, and it goes on. So, Mr Speaker, there are penalties involved in this too, and I see that the penalties for those sorts of offences can be up to a term not exceeding 5 years in prison, or a fine not exceeding $500,000 for an individual, or in any case, or a fine not exceeding $2.5 million. So, Mr Speaker, this is the sort of thing that we want to be seeing in this Parliament, coming down on some of the shonky trading, coming down on some of the financial institutions that have done good New Zealanders out of their savings and out of their investments. New Zealand First very strongly supports this very voluminous edition that's obviously chopped down a number of trees to be published. we welcome this Financial Markets Conduct Bill because we think it's overdue, Mr Speaker. It's overdue in terms of bringing New Zealand into the first world financial market, not a cowboy financial market as it operated in the past, which has seen New Zealand being seen as a bit of an out west South Pacific trading nation in the financial markets area, and where there has certainly been some less than desirable activities going on. We have seen so many financial companies go under in the last 3 or 4 years. We have seen so much in the way of questionable activities by some of those involved in the financial markets. Therefore, to have a financial markets conduct bill certainly is the right direction to making New Zealand into a first world financial markets situation. Mr Speaker, we certainly support this. We think this is the right direction to go. We think it is overdue, however, and New Zealand First will be supporting this through the first reading.
Paseta Sam Lutuinga.
Speaker, it's an honour to talk to the financial